The first time I said hi to a stranger, it was 30 seconds, right? I talked to 2 people in the street. Took months to build up to that, by the way. Said hi, 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, bye, and then ran away. That there, if you were to think of, okay, you're working on your confidence, on your charisma, on your social skills, what are your results? I said hi to 2 people for 30 seconds. What would most people say? Pathetic. Step it up. Now, is there room to step it up? Of course. Objectively, is it pathetic? Yes. But for me, I celebrated that for weeks because previous me couldn't do it. So I'd be like, yes, yes, yes. And I would ride this wave of positive momentum, collecting all those wins. Another key saying, which I suggest writing down, is have big, big goals, but celebrate every win along the way, no matter how small. Key. And another filter, which I use myself, is if I wouldn't say this to my own kid, don't say it to you. Meaning, imagine if you don't have kids, you have a kid. Option 1 is, say your kid does that, hey, Papa, I talked to 2 strangers 30 seconds. If the inner voice to you is, that's pathetic, it should have been much longer, like, would you say that to your kid, yes or no? The answer is no. Would it help your kid to be like, step it up, loser? What's this 30-second shit? Come on. No. Like, what would actually inspire your kid more? It'd be like, that's great, keep going. This positive reinforcement we tend to think is a weakness. It's like stagnation. No. If you had a kid, like, option 1, berate your kid and criticize your kid and judge your kid. Oh, well, you got to be stern. Your kid got to learn discipline. Got to learn how to have high standards. Pathetic. Option 2 is, yes, keep going. Hey, Papa, I talked to someone for 1 minute. Oh, that's awesome. Keep going. Awesome. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, be inspired. Oh, Papa, I saw someone who was a little bit more charismatic than me. Pathetic. Why are you not as charismatic, loser? You wouldn't say that to your kid. You're like, oh, that's awesome. Be inspired. Go for that. What's your version? Filter that. Talk to yourself like your own kid, right? It's the classic saying too, which you've probably heard many people talk about. I actually think Jordan Peterson talks about it too. It's like, treat yourself like someone you love and care about. Talk to yourself like someone you love and care about. And there's a good audit. That little voice inside, whatever it's saying, would you say that to someone you love and truly care about? Would you say it to your own kid? And if not, that's worm tongue. Put your foot down, and what do you say to worm tongue? Fuck you, worm tongue. No. Oh, but that's self-hate, Julia. No, that's a boundary of self-love. Why would you let yourself be internally abused like that? That's self-hate, just taking it. Oh, keep telling me that, worm tongue. Tell me I'm a bad boy. No, foot down. Key. And you'll see this positive encouragement leads to much more success and much more growth. And it doesn't mean stagnation, right? People tend to think too, like acceptance. Oh, well, accepting yourself fully, that's settling and tolerating. No, accepting yourself fully eliminates self-hate and leads to actual growth that isn't in reaction to something. Meaning, all of you right now, if you want to truly change, the gateway to change is radical self-acceptance.
Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah. No, but think about it. Say right now, you hate who you are. And you can audit this, by the way. It's like, okay, how do I feel about myself? The way I am, the way I look, my life situation, my relationships, my friendships, so on and so forth. How do I feel about all that? And if there's a part of you that's like, it sucks, you suck, and you're taking action to improve it, your action is in reaction to I suck. So it's still running you. Which is why you also hear, and I've talked about this for years now, only someone who isn't confident is trying to be confident. Only someone who doesn't feel good enough is trying to be enough. Only someone who isn't happy is trying to be happy. The more you try to be happy, the more you're telling yourself, I'm not happy. The more you try to improve, the more you tell yourself, I'm not improved. The more you try to practice self-love, the more you tell yourself, I hate myself. So it's like tying this little, you ever see it like as a kid, it's like the little rope in the can to your foot, and then you're running, it's like, why is it following me? Oh no. That's what happens. If you hate current version of you, it'll follow you, no matter how much progress you make. True self-acceptance means letting go of that reactionary action and all the self-hate and self-attack that goes in with it. Meaning you can improve while loving yourself, right? Self-love and acceptance doesn't mean I love myself completely, I'm done. And you just sit there and do nothing. No, you're still gonna live. Time passes, you change, you grow. But one person grows loving themselves every step of the way. Hey, I love myself now and I love myself tomorrow. Will I learn more? Like, will version of me tomorrow know more than version of me here today? Yes or no? Yeah. Will version of me tomorrow grow more than current version of me? Yes. Will version of me 5 years from now know and grow more than current version of me? Yes. Okay, but I'm still going to love myself every step of the way. I'm not going to attach my self-worth to that. That's the key. Self-acceptance is freeing yourself from the past and changing your relationship to growth to love, like acting out of love and inspiration versus fear, self-hate, and desperation. What if I put this finish line behind me? That's letting go, because there is no finish line. Even this whole conditioning with Disney movies, right? It's like in the end, Beauty and the Beast, make out, and it's live happily ever after. No such thing. What about the day after? The week after? What about when the Beast doesn't wash the dishes and Beauty's yelling at him? I told you to wash the dishes, motherfucker. What about 2 weeks after when he fucks her sister? There's no happy ending. There's always more and more and more. The only happy ending we all get is we die. So what if the finish line was like, how would you live your life in terms of self-worth if the finish line was behind you right now? What if you were enough? What if you were fully satisfied? Nothing more would, but you're still here till the day you die. How would you then live your life to pass this time in a very fulfilling and authentic way? That's the shift. Now again, it's also an ideal. No one's like at this 100% of the time. I'm not like this 100% of the time. I'm not perfect. I still get triggered. There's times where need and so on kicks in. But how can you shift your life so this is you the majority of the time? So it's not about making 100%, or someone's like, what about letting go of everything 100%? No one reaches that. But that's also not the point. The point is to enhance your life and your experience being here alive. How do you make it so that most of the time you're driven by inspiration and the exception is ego? Versus most people, most of the time driven by ego and you have the exceptional little glimpses of authentic inspiration. How do you make it so most of the time you're not triggered and the exception is triggered as opposed to the opposite? How do you make it so most of the time you feel satisfied and the exception is you don't feel satisfied? That's the whole key. Shift your life that way. How? Deep inner work and letting go. I always like asking myself this when it comes to just any success, would I trade lives with that person? And ideally you reach a point where you never want to trade lives with anyone. So the would I trade lives is a good metric too in terms of who you see out there, meaning you'll see a lot of people who are very financially successful, very successful on the health side, very successful on relationship side, so on and so forth. But if you look at the totality of who they are and you ask yourself, okay, would I trade lives for that? If the answer is no, then that's not a good goal for success. And then you got to ask yourself, well, what would be? What has to change? And then on your end, you're working on yourself to the point where you are so in love with you and at home in your own body, and you feel this deep sense of belonging that there isn't even the urge to want to trade lives. You're like, no, I just love being me. Right now, I know, being very modest, the exact steps to take to 4 to 5x my income. Within 1, maybe 2 years, I could do it. Exact steps. However, if I were to do that, I would win in the financial sense, or even win in the business brand exposure sense, but I would sacrifice a lot in terms of other areas of life. I'd have to sacrifice family time, time with my kids, so on and so forth. And although that might be one win if you look at it through one metric, it's not something I'm willing to sacrifice. So it's not my authentic win. And this is the thing for all of you. There is no such thing as this imposed universal win. I got to do this, I got to be this, I got to accomplish this. It's what is it for you? Like your win could be, hey, you know what? I want a 9 to 5 and I want to play video games all day. And if that's fully authentic, then fucking respect to you. Nothing wrong with that. Who says there's something wrong with that? It's only wrong with that if you're just settling and escaping. If it's authentic, hell yeah. So what is my win? And it changes, but it's don't get sucked into the missions and stuff of others. It's like, how do I want to authentically play this game? Maybe it's making a lot of money. Maybe it isn't. What's more important? What are your priorities? That also changes. What are your values? right? The common big four: health, wealth, relationships, happiness. Which one's more important? If you can only get one right now, prioritize that. Make a list of all your values, look at your day-to-day life, make sure your actions are aligned with it. And there's no better or. The only good win is if you're living aligned with your win. Not a win, not a successful win, your win.
Who are examples out there of people who do not have any stifleness, who are not trapped or whatever, besides yourself?
Moi. Okay.
Things you're doing besides yourself.
Well, what I ask you is, why do you need more examples?
Oh, just to see what else is out there.
Okay. So you can do that, but the problem is if you do that, it can be helpful, but you can also turn into a fan. Meaning, Julien, I'm sucking your dick, but I'm looking for more dicks to suck. As opposed to, this is the key question with anyone who has that vibe, it's get in tune with it in a pre-verbal way and ask yourself, what is my version of that? Suck your own dick. That's literally the way. Because yes, more examples help. Look for as many examples. I'm sure you can find many, whether it's, like you said, Owen, other public speakers, actors, comedians, so on and so forth, friends who are on site. Like, it's not like this extinct thing, right? It's like, where are they? Where do you find them? It's like, well, if you go up across the pond and look in the bushes, you'll see one or two. It's like, no, it's like you'll see them every day. But if you keep looking externally and like collecting them, you become a fan and it doesn't help you. It's still in a way giving your power away. Versus every time you see them, think, okay, there's someone who's unstifled. What is my version of that? And it'll look completely different. Like if any of you unstifled look exactly like me, that's weird. What's your version? You see me here, it's like, okay, well, if I were Julien, with my unique upbringing, unique personality, unique interests, unique values, if that unstifledness were taken here and transferred onto you, what would that look like in you? That's the key, right? If we take, say, Owen and myself, we're very different. Very different. Yet we're both charismatic. If I try to be like him, it'd be weird. I also notice my own innate, you could say, strengths and weaknesses. If I try to be like him, like he's very good at, you could say, kind of Jordan Peterson lobster style, talking about something and dissecting it and really, like talking about something you could say in one line and talking about it for 20 hours. If I try to do that, I'm not good at it. I'm good at taking complex things and dissecting it in very step-by-step processes. In that way, if we do collabs, we complement each other, which is why a lot of people love the videos we do together, because you get both extremes. But if he tries to be like me, I try to be like him, it won't be charismatic at all. So charisma is also getting to know yourself. Who are you? And how can you ultimately be this caricature version of you? Say there was a superhero of you, what would that look like? That's the question. And yes, look for other superheroes, but don't suck their dicks. Get inspiration to suck your own dick. Okay?